What should stop me from saying the Buccaneers offense is going to be unstoppable this year? Marcus.
Not a damn thing, G. Listen, I'm right there with you, man. First of all, the continuity, being around these players, and that's the thing that was so impressive about last year once he started to understand Spanish. I still don't know nothing but hola. That's the only Spanish I know. But if you think about what Tom Brady and this offense looked like, he really kept it to the words that he knew as the stretch went along. Example, check downs. Let's get Leonard Fournette involved. Let's run the football. He was used to that in New England as well. Let me get Gronk heavily involved in this playoff run. He did that as well. So, and Antonio Brown, who had built that rapport with in New England, in one game, we saw if that could materialize and become what it was. Now going into this season with a full off season, a better understanding of the players, understanding Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich and how they want to run and maneuver this offense, yeah, they should be marketably better. And gee, this too. Spanish is a lot easier when you take a year's worth of the class as opposed to going 2 or 3 days a week like I did at LSU.
There you have it. If you grow up in it, you're fluent in it, that's one thing. But Dominique, what is that?
Marcus ain't going to no class at LSU. He ain't going to not one class his whole time at LSU.
I did.
And Greedy,
don't lie.
I know Greedy speaks Spanish fluently. No, you went to football, and then you went to training table, and then you went back to football.
Oh,
don't
no.
lie.
Oh, no.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Greedy, I know your Spanish is tight, but I don't think that Tom Brady is going to be that much better because I think this was just something to say. Like, he knows how to play football. If we expect rookies to walk into training camp and learn a bunch of new terminology, I think that the greatest quarterback of all time didn't struggle that much figuring out the proper verbiage for getting in and out of plays and audibling and changing things. They're going to be just fine. I think they were 5th in the NFL offensively by EPA, and I think they'll probably be just about that. They're not going to suddenly turn into the Chiefs or as efficient as the Ravens now because Tom Brady can speak Spanish.
Diana?
Mike, you're telling me the greatest quarterback to be alive on this planet couldn't understand a Bruce Arians offense? Are you kidding me? This is such an excuse for them coming out slow. And look, I do think there was a transition going from New England 20 years in the same offense, in that same Patriot way, going to this loose, different type of vibe in Tampa Bay. But stop. This is such an excuse. This is Tom Brady. We are not talking about Zach Wilson learning how to play the NFL. We're not talking about Trevor Lawrence. Stop. Tom Brady is a smart player. He taught himself. He was out there practicing in high school fields learning the offense. Remember that? He was teaching himself. I think this was just a way for him to polish all his...
Hold on a second.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Go ahead, Diana, finish, but go ahead. I want to interject after you get done speaking about Tom Brady.
I just think someone at his level, with his ability and his experience, I don't think learning a new language of offense or a new offense is that challenging for him.
It's not, but I'm listening to you and Foxy talk about Tom Brady is just getting this going for the offseason. Did we not watch this Tampa Bay offense look like crap during the first half of the season? Something was wrong. It was either he couldn't understand Spanish or they couldn't execute the way they needed to. The dude didn't even realize it was 4th down in the game. You would tell me a 20-year veteran would make that mistake?
I guess maybe.
Y'all talking crazy. This team looked 100% better as the stretch went along in this season than they did offensively. I got to turn into Dan Orlovsky because y'all on here with that foolishness.
I guess maybe his mind was trying to figure out the terminology so he couldn't look at the sideline and see the big 4 over there. Maybe, like, he's not perfect. He makes mistakes. But I think that him understanding the offense wasn't the reason why he was struggling necessarily. Maybe it's because he's 100 years old and he's still playing quarterback and not everything's going to be perfect. Like, that feels like more realistic.
Lewis, I will start with you as we say good morning to you. What is your level of anticipation, or more importantly, your expectation for that night? It's a Sunday night game, Brady coming back to face Bill in his old building.
Yeah, I think, I've heard Teddy talk about the fact that I think there's going to be a lot of emotion overall in this football game. I think for Tom in particular, I think for players it's always more emotional because players always have a point to prove no matter how much you have accomplished in the NFL. You always feel as though you have more to prove because that's what makes you who you are. I mean, Bill has always been one of the guys who can manage emotions and kind of keep his eyes on the main thing better than anyone maybe in the history of the game. But I think without a doubt that this is still a football game that is going to be the type that is really decided by old-fashioned principles, which is something that Bill preaches all the time. And it's going to be about blocking and tackling, being able to run the football, not committing mistakes, and who captures the line of scrimmage. I think that's really going to be what this game comes down to. I think that's how New England has tried to revamp their football team. Can we win in the trenches? Can we capture the line of scrimmage running the football? And we will never again allow a team like the Miami Dolphins to run for 250, 300 yards on the ground against us ever again. And I think that's how they're going to want to win. I think that's how the Buccaneers want to win. That's how they won the Super Bowl, which I personally wouldn't want it any other way. I can't wait to see the physicality that's going to be on display that night.
I'll point out that Lewis played for Bill Belichick in Cleveland. Teddy, obviously, you legendarily played for Bill in New England. And I get that, generally speaking, he's not a person who tends to be emotional. But this is a night unlike any other. What do you expect this to be like for Bill as Brady, of all people, comes back?
I just expect there will possibly be a hug between Tom and Bill after it's all over. Lou's right. I mean, this man is all business, and he'll start the Wednesday of that week with, listen, guys, I don't care who plays for the other team. This is what we have to do to win. I don't care how many years, he's coming back, but I don't care how many years it was and all of that. Focus on getting pressure, say, up the middle of the pocket, or, however they got to beat that outstanding defense. That's what he'll focus on. And believe me, does it sound impossible to do based on what Tom Brady has done for the organization? Yes. But that's just how the blinders are on this man. So Belichick and emotion is usually something that doesn't sort of go hand in hand. And Lou's right. That emotion is all over there with number 12, and he'll want to. The question is, how many will Tom want to score against this defense? Will it be 30, 40, or 50? And that's what he'll be thinking about.
I tell you, if Bill isn't emotional for that game, then he's just not human, because I'm emotional just thinking about it. I'm not even directly involved. All right, Diana. So a lot of people are looking at the Bucs and wondering, oh, the schedule is favorable. It came out well for them yesterday. Could they possibly go 17-0? We all know that is very unlikely to happen. So, Diana, give me their first loss. Look through the schedule. Tell me where Tampa Tom is going to lose his first game this year.
I think the New Orleans Saints are going to be the one to wake them up and remind them that this is not going to be an easy division. I remember last season when the Saints lost to them, and it was not good. They did not expect that to happen. They thought that they had their number. I think the Saints will be very prepared to beat the Super Bowl champ. They were not going to let that happen to them once again. And guys, we've been talking about the Saints now. I think this is 4 years in a row getting bounced from the playoffs. They are tired of losing. It's time for Sean Payton to come through here and start winning and go far in this playoffs. I know there's no Drew Brees, but we talk all